The wealth you need actually is available. The time of the people you need perhaps to help you do one or two things, they are already available. The skills and expertise you need in this world, even if you don't have yourself, they are already available. Okay, so you just need to learn the hack. In my post I said I've experienced poverty firsthand, and one thing that I've noticed is that people are not even aware of the reason why they are poor. Most of the people I know, ask them the reason why they are poor, they might be quick to tell you that that is their destiny. That's not what God wants for you. God never wants you to be poor. But there are certain things you are doing that have made you poor. There are certain habits that you have inculcated in your life, or you are doing right now, or that you plan to do, that has made you poor and will continuously make you poorer. To ask questions, why am I poor? And do you know, like I said earlier, the quality of your questions, the quality of the questions you are asking determine the quality of the answers you're going to get. Also determine the quality of the outcome of implementation of whatsoever you have learned from asking that question. Why? You need to ask the right question. Take for example question number 1. Why am I poor? How you can actually hack into the system of wealth? By asking the right questions, by asking the correct questions, right? I believe if you can ask, you will have. I believe so much in that, especially when you can ask the right questions. For so many of us who are poor and broke today, I believe so much to the fact that they are not actually asking the right questions. Probably they are not even asking at all. Now, if you ask, you will receive. If you ask the right question, you will get the right answers. If you ask the wrong questions, you will definitely also get the wrong questions. My name is A. Kabir. If you are joining me for the first time, we are doing this for 1000 days, and today is the 37th of our live session here, right? Okay, let's begin. Earlier today, for some of you that are following my handles, I posted some 2 posts, right? It actually follow each other. I'm going to try to analyze them for you in case you don't understand it, and it actually has a link with today's discussion. Don't forget, today we are discussing how you can hack into the system of wealth through asking the right questions, through observations, and then taking action. I'm also going to give you some hints on how to get the answers to your questions, right? Like I'm doing. I found some ways that I don't necessarily even need to pay, and I still get answers to my questions, and also find a way to implement them. And so much I've learned so far, developing myself personally, right? And that's the most interesting aspect of your life that you might want to take serious, right? Okay, let's continue. Thank you for joining us. I don't know who is that, but if you can hear me, help me to comment. Tell me where you are joining us from. Maybe we can connect, right? Okay, today's topic again, how you can hack into the system of wealth through asking the right questions. I always tell people that the wealth you need is already available in the world. The people you need to get wealth from, thank you, that's Rabiat Idris, thank you for joining us. The wealth you need actually is available. The time of the people you need perhaps to help you do one or two things, they are already available. The skills and expertise you need in this world, even if you don't have yourself, they are already available. Okay, so you just need to learn the hack. I mean, the key, each time I say hack, always understand that I'm talking about the expertise or the technical know-how, how to get that thing is the hack. It's actually the hack, right? Today we're talking about asking the right question. Now let me analyze my 2 posts for you today. The first one, I said I've experienced poverty firsthand, like what it means to be poor, what it means to not to have money, right? Not to have anything at all, just trying to manage your life. I've experienced that. Probably that's what you are going through right now. Now I'm telling you that by listening to this kind of video consistently and trying to implement the things you learn from it can actually take you away from that poverty. Nobody is supposed to be poor until you want to be poor. Nobody can make you poor until you give them permission to make you poor. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Unisa. Today is going to be hot. Please sit back and relax and listen carefully. The essence of me coming here is to also update you, is to also update you on my journey. Like I tell people, I'm going somewhere, and I've seen to the fact that part of my journey will have to come through what I'm doing right now, and I'm taking action, and I'm going to get there someday. Definitely, right? By the way, I want to say very big thank you to those who are always following me. Some people came to my DM to appreciate the thing I'm doing. It's not much, but That appreciation alone has really made me feel very, very special, and it's pushing me to do more, and I'm feeling more confident on myself. So let's get back to today's topic so that we don't spend much time. In my post, I said I've experienced poverty firsthand, and one thing that I've noticed is that people are not even aware of the reason why they are poor. Most of the people I know, if you ask them the reason why they are poor, they might be quick to tell you that that is their destiny. Maybe that's what God wants for them. That is not what God wants for you. That is what you want for yourself. You see, that's a mentality and that's a mindset. Maybe it's too big for you, but we're going to be breaking it down if you are patient enough to listen. That's not what God wants for you. God never wants you to be poor. But there are certain things you are doing that have made you poor. There are certain habits that you have inculcated in your life, or you are doing right now, or that you plan to do, that has made you poor and will continuously make you poorer. Because once inflation are coming and that your habit of keeping you poor is still with you, then poverty will increase, right? You're going to be getting down. Do you understand? So now, like I said in my post, many people are not even aware to the fact that this is the reason why I'm poor. Now that's raised the need for you to ask questions, right? You need to ask questions. Why am I poor? And do you know, like I said earlier, the quality of your questions, the quality of the questions you are asking determine the quality of the answers you're going to get. And that also determines the quality of the outcome of implementation of whatsoever you have learned from asking that question. And that's why you need to ask the right question. Take, for example, question number 1. Why am I poor? Why am I poor? Repeat that to yourself continuously. In fact, pick your pen and paper. And this is one of the exercises that I've done in the past, and I'm still doing, because each time I'm having a business or whatsoever it is, and I'm finding out that things are going wrong, then I need to come back. Why is this wrong? Why am I not getting it right? Instead of me to sit back and say, this is how God wants it. Perhaps, no, I know I have not done it right. For the fact that there are people that have done this and they have gotten the result, so it means I have not done it right. There is no magic. There is no any saying that there is God somewhere stopping you from getting it. There is nothing like there is a relative or evil people are trying to stop you. Please stop that kind of thinking. Get it right. Do it repeatedly until you get it right. Do you understand? And you can actually get it right. But like I said, asking the right question is also one of the hacks that you might want to use. Now, when I started asking myself, why am I not doing well financially? Right? Because some people might be quick to ask that, what do I need to do to get rich? That's a good question, but start from the fact that, why am I not even rich in the first place? You can see that the quality of the first question is better than the quality of the second question. For the first question, help you to discover the reason why you are in that current state of yours. And the second question will now help you to navigate how to get yourself there, right? So, like I said in my post, I'm still analyzing my post number 1. Now, I began to now ask the second question. Then, what are the rich doing that I'm not doing? What are they actually doing that I'm not doing? How did they get there? Like, do you know, for example, when I started asking this question and I started making research on it, I found out that there are so many self-made billionaires who actually even dropped out of school. I don't know if you take your time to ask questions and search for the answers, but see, in the past I was a lecturer in the university, and I always observe, and that's part of the thing we're going to be discussing today. Apart from asking questions, please open your eyes, your senses, your ears, listen carefully and observe. Do you understand? You ask questions, you observe. Observation is as good as asking questions, because sometimes when you sit and your thoughts can speak volumes to you, right? I found a way of controlling my mind around observations and getting answers. And do you know, there's always a need for something. You probably need a lot of money right now. You need wealth, right? You have a need. Then the question to ask is, why am I not meeting that need? You know, and how can I do it? Like, okay, for example, like yesterday, what I observed right here in my house is that there's no women in the house. They travel, and it happens that we are all the men around, and my brother gets into the kitchen, which is very unusual. Like, it sounds very somehow, but he's not used to it anymore. Like, life has turned around and he's not used to cooking again. So he wanted to cook a particular kind of what we call swallow, right? Our local swallow. So he was asking, I overheard him asking his wife on phone, how can I do this? What should I need to do next? And all of that. So there was a need, and he is now asking questions. And now what happened was that yesterday, when he cooked the food, it was good, yes, but it was over. Like, the food is too much. We couldn't just finish it. So he has a problem with the measurement. Now today he got it right. Don't have any problem with the measurement. He got the food right. He also got what? The measurement right today. Do you understand? Now, you see, this simple analysis tell you that, look, you should first of all have a need. You should have a need. What do you want? That's another question. What do I want? If you are listening to me right now, please, I think that should be the first question, right? What do you want out of life? What exactly do you want? This question might sound very simple, but if you stop 100 people to ask them this question straightforward without preparation, what do you want out of life? I tell you, you'll be hearing funny answers, funny responses that is not well specific, is not measurable, might not even be achievable. Somebody will just tell you, I just want to be comfortable. I want to be wealthy. Is that what you want? How much do you want? What do you need to get that amount? What do you need to be doing? How do you do that thing? You know, a lot of questions. So you might want to be specific. I want so at so time, in so amount, in so quantity, right? Doing so thing. You need to be very, very specific. Ask yourself these questions. See, before I resigned my lecturing job, I started asking. Like I said, one of the trick to using this key is observation. I became a lecturer and I observed my superiors, like the professors, the PhD holders, the people who have been in the field for, say, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years or more. So I began to observe their lifestyle. Even though I've been a student under them in the university over the years, I spent 8 years in the university studying. So I already seen their lifestyle. Like, they don't impress me much. You can see a professor struggling to fuel his car or doesn't have a car at all. So, and that's the peak of the profession. So most of these things, and because I studied chemistry, it's easier for me to get a lecturing job. Of course, I'm good at it and I can vibrate, I can do that. So, but yes, of course, I have that skill, I've learned it over the time, but I observe that the lifestyle of the people doing that particular thing is not the same lifestyle I want for myself. Do you understand? I observe. I've looked at my professors. I've looked at the lecturers that are even more intelligent than me. In my second post, before I will forget, in my second post, I said, I've seen a lot of people that are very intelligent, but they have not learned how to leverage on their intelligence. They have not learned how to develop their intelligence, to develop something, a kind of product or services around their intelligence, and therefore they might even end up either serving somebody or never get anything out of life at all. Do you understand? And the most painful part of it is that they end up serving those who are actually not as intelligent as them. Do you know one of the reasons why is because they are not asking the right questions. They are not looking for the right answers. So I challenge you today. In fact, and it's easier for you to do this these days. You can go to AI, begin to talk to AI. Give AI the analysis of your life. Sometimes AI review me. Like, I tell AI, ask questions like, I've been chatting with you looking for one solution or the other. What is it about me, my questioning format, my conversation with you that I probably don't know myself, that is hidden to me, that might probably be a weakness, that might probably be an opportunity, a strength for me? and AI began to give me an interesting answers. Sometimes, see, I tell you, you don't need to think much. You have so much at your disposal. You just need to leverage. Ask the right questions. If you don't even know how to ask the right questions, AI can also guide you the most important questions you can ask. Just identify what you want. I want wealth, right? I want to be $50 billion rich, right? Okay, begin to talk to AI. How can I get this money? What are the right questions I should ask? What are the right places I should go to? Learn even how to ask the right questions. And there are a lot of facilities that can teach you this for free. There are a lot of people online. I'm teaching you right now. You never pay me any dime. I'm still teaching you, right? If only you can appreciate me by liking, by sharing, by subscribing and all of that. Follow. Do you understand? Now, you see, you need to first and foremost realize what you want. Ask the right questions. Get the answers. First, okay, before asking the right questions, you need to observe. Once you know what you want, you need to observe. Now, I was in the lecturing world, but that wasn't for me because I observe. I have seen my lecturers, I've seen my bosses, I've seen how they look like. I never want to become like that. With due respect to those who are lecturers, I respect you so much, and perhaps that's the best you want for your life. But for me, this is a public lecture, so I don't want that. So right now, you listening to me, lecturing might not be what you are doing right now, but are you comfortable doing what you are doing? Are you okay? Is that what you really want? And again, one interesting thing to do is that look at the outcome, the end result. When I see lecturers that have served over, how many years is their maximum? Once they retire, let me just put it like that. Once they retire, I look at their lifestyle. Would I want to become something like that at my old age? The answer is a big no. So why should I go through a process that will take me there? I needed to disconnect myself. It was tough. It was hard. The society will challenge you. People will tell you you are a fool. You don't know what you are doing. A job that people will pay millions and millions of naira to get, that's what you are running away from. They are not seeing your vision. They will challenge you. Don't listen. You just need to know what you want and learn how to go get it. I am better off. I don't care if people are paying for that job, they are looking for it. In fact, for most jobs that I've left, even I've left a private school that the following day, I think not less than 17 people came right before I saw them. They came for the interview to replace me. And that's the job I'm leaving. And I'm still living. Where you see me right now is just like a prison to me. And I'm living here. I have a target of how long I'm spending here. I definitely will have to move. But with you listening to me right now, you see, you might not have everything figured out from the start. Perhaps if you are a starter, this video might just be for you. I know I probably must have been speaking to somebody today. That place you are, if you are not comfortable, you can change it. It takes a lot of hard work, desire, conviction. Thank you for joining us. A lot of conviction, right? Burning desire and your ability to be able to risk a little bit. You can start by taking little risks. Sometimes the kind of risk I take these days, I can't even believe is me. I train myself to do this. You can see I'm online today talking. I wasn't like that. The confidence was not bold. Even the first day I started, today is day 38, right? If I'm not mistaken. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Zachary. Thank you for joining our live session. See, wherever you are doing right now, you can get better if only you know the next thing you want. Just observe, begin to ask questions, and then look for answers to this question. And that's the second part of this presentation. It's not enough to observe, it's not enough to ask questions, but you must have these questions answered correctly. Do you know, if you ask the wrong question, you are risking your future and destiny. Earlier, like I told you, your destiny is in your hands. I don't believe in the way some people think that there's a God somewhere that detects for you wrong destiny. You end up being poor and broke. No, God never wants you to be poor and broke. Think about it. God is a merciful God. There is so much resources in this world for everyone. And you know, funny enough, all of us can have this money, enough wealth, and everybody will be okay. I just assume that this wealth is just like eagles or different type of birds flying on the sky. Flying on the sky. So the sky is just too wide for everybody to fly. There is literally no competition at all. Stop thinking that some people had to take this money and you are just the poor masses. You gave yourself that name. Your father, your parents never gave you the poor masses. You gave it to yourself because of your inability to ask the right questions, wanting so badly with the desire to be in the right places, to have the right needs, to have the right mindset, to learn the right answers to your question. If you ask the wrong questions, you get the wrong answers. If you ask the right answers, if you ask the right questions, you get the right answers. And once you get these answers, begin to implement, take action. Now let me give you a few examples so that you understand asking questions is not enough, but getting the right answers. Now for some of you, I've spoken widely about getting a mentor. That might not be the visible option if you are starting out. Perhaps I'm still starting out. I'm always looking at myself like a starter in this game, right? A starter in this game of building wealth. And I know a lot of people that they did not even time themselves as a starter yet because they are still struggling to even figure out what they want. That's where the journey starts from. And that's why I'm sharing some of these tips, because as I began to travel my journey, it gets clearer. As I began to move, it gets clearer. The confidence gets clearer. Like I told some of you in the past, one day you will want to listen to me. You will pay me to come and teach you, but you will not even see me because I'll be worth much more than you ever think. Do you understand? I know, I understand this game. And for the fact that I already understood how to play it, I'm playing it, you can see. Let me not deliberate too much on that. If you have asked the right questions, you will definitely get the right answers. And like I said, there are so much things you need to leverage on. You don't need to get a mentor from the start. By the way, if you even want to get a mentor, I believe that there are so many people around you already that can offer you free mentorship. They are probably doing that thing you want to do. Go and watch my videos on how to get the right mentor. By the way, we're not going to talk much on that. But you have access to some free mentor right now. But be careful not to go talking to people that they themselves couldn't do that thing you want to do. You definitely know that you will not get the right answers to doing it. And that's why I said the future of education I so dream is to have lecturers who actually themselves are already doing what they teach. If you are teaching me farming, you should have a farm. Let me see where is your poultry? How many millions of naira have you made from your poultry this month? Then you are qualified to teach me. Otherwise, don't teach me. I won't learn from you. You are just making a noise. Do you understand? By the way, that's part of the reason why I had to leave the lecturing world. I couldn't just continue teaching what myself I was not benefiting from. I was not benefiting from the knowledge inside my head, but I still want to impact it to some other people. Poor kids, innocent children, for them to go and use the knowledge to do what that me I cannot use to do. Cannot use it to do anything. By the way, that's another topic. You can go and watch my video. Unfortunately, I was not saving some of my live sessions, and after 30 days it get deleted. So but we are already downloading it and uploading it on our YouTube channel, so you can go there and click at I am_AA_Kabir. You can go and search for my handle and then you see it, right? So what I'm saying in essence is, for this not to be much longer, we're talking about asking the right questions today, observing, getting the answers. Then where do you get the answers? Let me quickly deliberate on that before we end the session. Now, I was smart enough from the start to understand that I might not have access to paying mentors, but I have access to books, financial books. Like I've mentioned earlier, I started browsing about the most richest people on earth, and few of them have found that even drop out of school and started the journey of personal development, personal learning. For example, Bill Gates dropped out of school. The owner of Microsoft dropped out of school, engaged in personal learning, and you can see what he has invented. Another example is Mark Zuckerberg. He never finished school. This Facebook we are using today, he invented it. Another example is Henry Ford, the owner of Ford car. He invented that car. He was never a graduate. He dropped out of school. I can go on and on listing some of these people, but like I said, I started asking questions. You know what I started doing? I started asking questions. Who are the richest people? By the way, I asked AI one day that, do we have any lecturer that is a billionaire in dollars? The answer was no. He couldn't figure out any example. Do you get it now? And me, I have the dream to becoming a billionaire in dollars. Not just billionaire, but multiple, multi. Do you get it? So I couldn't just I couldn't fix myself there. I needed to go to where. So imagine the burning desire in me and what will push me to quit my lecturing job that people were not seeing. Are you listening? Are you learning? Right? Comment on the comment section. Let me know that I am giving value. This encouraged me a lot. It means a lot to me, right? Then I started by picking out some of the books of the successful people I've seen around the internet. And funny enough, do you know that I started by buying few physical copies? I think I have some to show you here. Well, I don't have any. I think there's one on my bed and I don't want to stand up. But the books have taught me a lot. And once I learn, take for example, what you are seeing here is a document like my guides and direction for 2024. In fact, it's like a 10-year goal. All I have here, and I keep coming back to edit. You can see some biros writing, right? So this is a document that carries my 10 years goals, right? They are right here. Everything you see me do, I have it programmed. So when I wanted to learn how to program my life, because like if you go for interview, they will ask you, what's your goal in the next 5 years? How do you see yourself? These are secrets. So I knew that I needed some things. I needed to plan myself. So I needed to start reading books that are related that will help me do that. Take for example, one of the things that helped me have this plan, I've gone through Unbreakable. I think 2 books of Brian Tracy helped me to prepare the document. In fact, a whole lot of Brian Tracy's presentation, if you don't know about him, go and browse. He has taught me how to actually narrow down whatsoever I need in a document, in a write-up, understanding exactly in clear times what you want. He taught me that aspect of setting goals and making it part of you and pushing after it every day. You don't have time to waste. If you really want to belong to this game, if you need the hack, you don't have any time to waste. Every minute of your life counts. Do you know, as much as coming here to sit with you 30 minutes every day, it matters a lot to me. Like, I have to plan it. It's part of my life. Calculate 30 minutes times 1,000 and see probably how many days I spend doing this. Are you getting value? So reading books, you can have recommended books. I've read a lot of books when it comes to finances. I've read a lot of books when it comes to relationship. I've read a lot of books when it comes to habits and the habit of the poor and the rich. Like I said, first and foremost, you need to understand some certain things, and it's not enough to read. You also need to implement. Take for example, when I want to learn about habits, habit of the rich and the poor, I think I read Billionaire Habits by Dr. Stephen Akintayo. Billionaire Codes. He also wrote that book, right? So I can't, you see, one of the first book I read, as at the time I was struggling either for me to resign or not, I read the book of Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. The book pushed me and made me feel like, wow, I should be confident. Shortly after then, I got to read because I was struggling to raise capital. You know, most of you are capital conscious when you want to start a business. That's not what you need. I now read again another book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I read that, but earlier before then, I read The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. Then I read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Then I later read what again? Think Like a Billionaire and Become a Billionaire. That's by that's by Scott Anderson. There are so many books, like I said. Now, funny enough, I will stop mentioning the books. Today we are not talking about books, but you can find loads and loads of answers from reading. But most of us, we don't read. There's this popular saying that if you want to hide things from an African, put it in the reading. I used to be like you. I never want to read. It's discouraging. It's not interesting. But I need to get comfortable being uncomfortable because I want to get wealthy. Do you understand the game? So maybe I'm taking much time already. I'm going to stop here, but please, if you pick up, I can tell you for a fact that once Robert Kiyosaki told me that I don't need to work for a paycheck. I read his book and he said you must quit working for people. Even the government, they are milking you, making you poorer every day, making themselves rich, but you don't realize this. Do you know that the people that pay the highest level of task are the civil servant and they receive very less? You may need to read so that you understand and take actions. I quit my job. It was not making sense to a lot of people, but it made sense to me. That's what matters. Does it make sense to you right now? Do you really even know what you want? So you can do a lot. Ask questions, get answers, act on them. I was looking for how to get confidence, like a lot of confidence. How to become a media freak, that I can convince a lot of people with the idea that look, they can be successful, they can be wealthy if only they want. Because I became very disturbed. It's part of me. Like I told you earlier, I became a lecturer, so it's part of me naturally to want to teach. But I'm not confident enough to come online. I'm not confident enough to mingle, even more or less. Like I look like somebody who I'm not that exposed, by the way. It's true. But how can I get started? AI said I need to take a step, and we discussed. Like 1 week later, I was still deliberating how to get this online. Luckily enough, boom, somebody said you want to start 1000 day presentation, and I said that is it. You see the importance of knowing what you want, because like I always tell people, the nature will work to support you in achieving what you want. If only you already determine what you want and put it in writing. Ideas, opportunities will come to tell you that thing you are looking for how to do, this is it today. Let me give you a simple example. If you have a dream to owning a car and you know the particular type of car, each time you are walking around the city, you see as if it is only that car that people have around, because each time it passes by you will see it. But assuming you don't have a dream to have any car, see, if you walk around 1 year, you might not be particular about any car. You might not see any car. By the way, you are traveling in a car. Wisdom. So I'm going to stop here. I will challenge you today that you should ask questions. Write down the answers when you get them, and wait for, perhaps sometimes when you even write down the answers, write down the questions, wait for the answers. And when you write down the answers, wait for the right times to take action, right? All these things will figure out themselves. It all takes your ability to get started. I'm going to stop here. See you tomorrow, and I hope you enjoyed this session today. If you enjoyed, please click the subscribe button and follow my channels. And thank you. See you some other time. Bye bye.